Oh, hey everyone. It is Boxing Day evening here in Canada. I was going to try and make sure I got that out right. Anyway, hey, it's me, Lad from the Woods. So we're basically all caught up with the editing, so I just keep uploading the old stuff. So now I'm starting, the new stuff. Hello. Lots been going on here at camp. There was a couple of videos I put up that were to do with the snowstorm and everything. Lost power here for 10 hours, then everything came back on, but my whole water system was frozen. But my trace lines were all working except for the one that went out to the pipe in the back. I'm cooking spaghetti as we speak here. I'm just cooking up hamburger. Anyway, that music's a bit loud. That I can actually play this music in the background because I pay for it. Epidemic music and sound. Because usually I don't have any music on when I'm talking to you guys, but it's because I'm listening to Spotify, but that music doesn't let me, do my, it's not legal, right? So anyways, whatever that word is I want. Yeah, I'm buzzed. I just popped one before you guys, before I turned you folks. I've been watching YouTube videos this evening and was debating on what I was going to decide to make for supper, and well, it won't be supper tonight. It's 5 minutes to 11, but I slept all day. Well, anyway, so back to the frozen lines. The big main line that goes from comes in to the pressure tank. It had frozen because the breaker had gone off during the power outage. So when everything came back on, that one didn't. So that pipe froze. The other ones, well, it did freeze, but none of them broke. But the heat tracers all came on and everything worked perfectly. Right on, right? So anyways, I go and reset the breaker and everything, and I check back a couple hours and nothing's happening. Then I realize that there's on these heat trace lines, you've got the black line that goes out, you wrap that around the pipe, and then you cover that with the insulation and everything, right? And that goes right in underground, so it goes far enough that by the time the pipe hits 3 feet, you don't need it anymore because it won't freeze under there. So I'm okay there. But thermostat has to be on the pipe where it's cold. Well, inside the pump house, it's warm. Okay, so this thing was just hanging in the air. So warm air, thermostat's not doing it. You put it on the pipe, well, the pipes are warm because of the heater in there. It has to be on the cold part of the pipe. So anyways, I'm like, well, fuck, it's the hole's too small for me to pull that through. And this is minus 13 Celsius with probably about minus 25, maybe minus 30 with the wind chill out there. And I'm like, holy fuck, I don't want to be out here for too long doing this. So anyway, what I did was you know what? The outside of the pump house, the walls will be frozen. I got insulation, but if I stick that thing in there between, against the wall where I know it's going to be frozen cold, and then the insulation, the heat's not getting to it from the pump house. Boom. Check back a couple hours later. I flipped the pump back on, came in, water's running just like every day. So that problem is kind of solved. I don't know, I may, once my friend Pat, the plumber, decides to come out here, I think I might get him to set up something a little bit different for that. Maybe put it right on the plastic pipe just as it's coming out of the pump house wall. And then I can leave that there, and then I can just spray some of that spray insulation, just completely seal the hole. So, of course, in the meantime, what else happens? Just felt a cold blast of air here. What the hell? Is there a bat flying around here somewhere? Anyways, not what I was saying there. This is a big bunch of hamburgers. So making a big spaghetti, I can freeze a bunch of it. Well, okay, cat did go flying by. Blackie the cat and Wally are doing WWF wrestling. Anyways, so we were talking about the we'll get him to fix that, and then that'll solve that. Yeah. So in the meantime, of course, my heater that was in there decides it's not going to work anymore. I've had the thing like maybe 2 months. So anyhow, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to run down to my mom's and borrow one of hers. Well, I got the U-Haul van. We're going to get into that part of the story. We got a U-Haul van rented while I'm without a pickup truck. And of course, it's 2-wheel drive. And of course, the tires are bald, so I can't go anywhere with this fucking thing. I mean, I get stuck moving 2 feet, let alone driving down to my mother's. Because we've been through this big snowstorm like everybody else. So anyways, okay, well, what have I got that can throw heat at it? I can take the inside oil radiator and put that in there, which would probably work pretty fucking good, you know, with a good thermostat and all that. Maybe I should just do that instead of putting another blow fan in there. I'll just buy another radiator. You know what? I think I just made that decision. I'm going to put that old fucker in there. There's lots of room for it. And it'll be fine. You know, set it on one thermostat and it'll come on and off. And yeah, so then I'll get another one. I'll put a brand new one here in the back room because the wood stove still isn't installed. That's another story. But yeah, so I have to replace that. So anyway, I had an old hairdryer I don't use, but I use it sometimes, like back when things were still freezing before I got everything properly heat traced and insulated and everything. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just stick that. I'll put it on low and keep it running in there. Now, I know a hairdryer isn't supposed to run 24/7, but it's not doing all that much. I mean, it keeps it warm in there. That's good. But I mean, I haven't got the thing running full blast or anything. So I've been checking it periodically and it seems fine. So it's going, well, it is minus 10 Celsius now. So whatever that is in your guys' temperature. I don't think there's a whole lot of wind. Hold on here. I got some stuff coming for this phone. I got another phone coming too. It's too bad I can't keep this one. I should consider it actually. Oh, the door is frozen. Check that out. Yeah, let's put this up. I didn't think it was that cold. That locks down. No, just a slight breeze, but it's minus 10, so. Anyway, why was I telling you guys that? I think I need to make a coffee. What do you guys think, man? Should I make a coffee? Yeah, I think I ought to make a coffee. Turn this heater off. Blow the circuit. It's not fun. So yeah, the hairdryer, I'm checking it periodically, as I said, and it seems to be fine for now. So I don't have any money coming in until the 15th. This is that long stretch for me. So the hairdryer is just going to have to make do. It's warming up later this week. It's going to be all plus, going over +1, +2, +3 Celsius. So, and it's going on for a bit, and then the nights are like -2, -3. So it's not, you know, we go through these little bursts and then it's back to warm again. So anyway, I won't have to worry too much. The only other thing that was a big concern at the time was the hot water on demand. Well, you guys can't really see that, it's dark in there. I'd get him to put a light in there and I need to insulate it. But anyway, the box that we built, the heater in there is working great, and but it's only for a small area. So, but even with the freeze up and the hot water on demand thing did freeze, nothing cracked, nothing broke. I was like, yes. So as soon as the power came back on, that thing came on, and once I had water the next day, it's working fine. The hot water's fine. Ran out of propane. Got to get some more of that. There's another $100 out the window. But at least when I get the 100-pound tank, because I had a spare 30-pound tank here, so I'm okay for now. I'm just heating water with it anyway. I'm not using the big furnace. And with this warm weather coming up, I won't need the furnace at all. But I'll still get it full because that 100-pound tank, just using it primarily for that hot water on demand, lasted me like 6 months, like in crazy time. Like, wow. I'm like, okay, that's just a 100-pound tank. And, you know, I'm not saying I'm a super user of hot water or anything, but I mean, I did laundry, I did all kinds of stuff, showers, you know, all these stuff people normally do. I know for the first couple of weeks, once I had it installed, you know, and the well was working and everything, it was like I was taking extra long showers because I could. I hadn't been able to take one, you know, with the way the setup was here before with the 10-gallon tank, gas and electric, which was, you know, it was using up my gas like insane. And then and my showers were limited. So I did abuse it for the first little while, and then of course I settled down like anybody else would, right? So anywho, we'll get that stuff solved. And the one thing that pissed me off is I haven't got my wood stove in yet. And luckily for me, during this freeze up, I had a Mr. Heater, a big buddy that I use for my ice fishing, which has never ever let me down. I mean, and I follow their directions to a T, and I have the filter on it so the gum for the propane doesn't gum it up, because these are nice machines and it saved my life here. So bottom line, you know, if you take care of it and it's well made, because I've heard people say, oh, they're shit, and I'm like, no, they're fucking not, man. These Mr. Heater big buddies, I've been using one since they first pretty much came out, and I got the 18,000 BTU, and let me tell you, or I would have been fine. Oh, what happened there? Did you guys just shut down? Oh, you did? Oh, what the fuck? Or did it just restart on its own? God damn it. Hang on, guys.